Welcome to the MD Solutions Optimax Training Series, Basic List View Filters. In this session, we will cover list sorting, auto matching in the list view, simple column filtering, using the auto filter row, turning off filters, and list summaries. Before we get started, it is important to know the different methods used to search for information in list views within Optimax. There are two views found in the system, list views and detail views. For this session, we are focusing on list views. The list view is your primary view for patients, billings, providers, etc. List views can be compared to rows and columns found in all spreadsheets. As with a spreadsheet, there are multiple methods for locating the data in the list. Note that in this session, the method used to find information applies to all list views within Optimax. Now let's get started with list sorting. All columns in a list view can be sorted. To sort a record by a column's value, click the column's header until the up or down arrow icon is displayed within the header. The up and down arrows indicate ascending and descending sort orders. Now, to remove sorting by a column, click the column's header while holding down the Control key on your keyboard. Or you can also right-click the column header and choose Clear Sorting from the menu. Now let's look at auto matching. In list views, you can locate information by typing in the initial characters of the values contained in the column's row. This is the preferred method of locating data, as it is typically the fastest and easiest way to search. To locate the nearest row that contains a specific value in a specific column, it is best to sort the column first. Then, click on any cell in the column where you want the search to be performed. Type in the initial characters of the value to be located. The nearest row that contains the specified value in the clicked column will be located and highlighted. Now let's take a look at simple column filtering. Data can be filtered by using a simple column condition. To select records that contain a specific value in a specific column field, hover over the column header and click the filter button that appears in that column header. Select the required filter, either a single value or multiple values, in the filter drop-down list. An example of a single value filter would be that we want to see billings that were last billed last month. An example of a multiple value filter would be that we want to see billings that were last billed last month and billed to a specific insurance coverage. The filter drop-down list will be closed, and the control will display the records which contain the specified value in the specified columns. To remove the filtering, click the X or remove the check mark in the filter panel located in the lower left corner of the list. Note that if you do not remove the filtering, the filter will stay in place until you remove it. Now let's take a look at the auto filter row. The auto filter row allows you to list records on the fly similarly to the simple column filtering. The auto filter row is not displayed by default. To add the auto filter row, right-click on the column header area and select Auto Filter Row from the menu. Each cell of the filtering row displays two elements: a section for setting the required filter condition. The set of conditions available for the column depends on the type of data displayed in that column, and an editor that allows you to enter a value for filtering the column data. The auto filter row will allow you to filter data by a single value or multiple values depending on your need. An example of a single value filter would be that we want to see the last build date that is greater than or equal to April 1st of 2020. An example of a multiple value filter would be that we want to see the last build date that is greater than or equal to April 1st of 2020, and the insurance equals you care. All values displayed meet both of the filter values. To remove the filtering, click the X or remove the check mark in the filter panel located in the lower left corner of the list. Note that if you do not remove the filtering, the filter will stay in place until you remove it. Finally, let's take a look at list summaries. The list view provides a summary feature for calculating the total of values within a specific column. The list summaries are a great tool to see how many patients or billings you have in your data, as well as any insurance balance totals or guarantor remainder totals. List summaries should be used in all list views found in Optimax. To see column totals, right-click in the column summary footer and select the required option from the menu. So for example, if I want to see how many billings I have in my list, I can right-click in the summary footer and choose Count. If I want to see the total charges I have in my list, I can right-click in the summary footer under the Charges column and choose Sum. We now see how many billings and the total amount of charges in the list. In review of this session, you should now be able to perform basic list view filtering, how to remove filters, and view list summaries. If there are any questions regarding basic filtering, please contact MD Solutions Support.